Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renee Novak at blessedbycards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm here today to share with you a weekly Wednesday card creation that we are going to do a fun fold. And this is a fun fold arrow fold card where you will be able to create this unique little front card. And with just one little piece of designer series paper, you can create this card. So let's get started with the supplies that you're going to need. Okay, so you're going to need, I got my directions here. You're going to need a piece of designer series paper that measures 4 by 5 1/4. So you can use whatever designer series paper you want to use. Measures 4 by 5 1/4. And then once you pick your designer series paper, then you'll pick a coordinating cardstock. So I have chosen Boho Blossom. And then I cut out a boho blossom circle from the Spotlight on Nature, and I cut out another one for the hello from that same Spotlight on Nature dies, those circle dies. And that's the same circle dies that I used on this card. And so we're just going to create a whole new card. Okay, so there's a little bit of scoring and there's a little bit of cutting involved. So let's get started with how to do that. I'm going to bring in my scoring tool, and you want to do a little pencil marks. And you do want to do pencil because you want to be able to erase them. Okay, and so what you want to do, here's your card that measures 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. It's scored in half at 4 1/4. And then what you want to do is you want to put that card down so that the bottom part, which is going to be your card front, is at the lower portion. And that's when you want to make your marks. Okay, so you want to find the halfway point between here, and this is a 5 1/2 card, so that is 2 3/4, and you put a little pencil mark. And then you want to find the halfway part on both sides and make a little mark as well. And that's 4 1/4, so that would be 2 1/8. And so once you get those 3 marks, then we can score. Okay, sorry about that. I had to stop the camera and actually score because my table wasn't going to allow me to score and to show you the marks. So what you need to do is score along those tick lines. So you need to line your tick, the smaller one, in here in the groove, and then you want to line this middle part in the groove so that those two line up, and then you're going to want to score it, which I did ahead of time because it wouldn't let me score here. And then you're going to do the same thing, is you're going to line this up in the groove right here where it is the end of the card to your middle line that you created, and you're going to make a score. And you do the same thing to the other side. So you're going to find that tick mark, and you're going to line it up with the center tick mark, and then you're going to score. And then on the edge of the card to the center of the card, mark and score. Okay, and so that would be the scoring that you'll end up with some triangles. And then what you want to do is erase your marks. Okay, so after you get all of those marks erased, then you want to take this larger fold, and you're going to want to fold it towards the center of the card. So towards the inside of the card, and you want to take your bone folder and make a nice crease. And then this smaller one you're going to bring back on itself. Okay, so it's going to give you a triangle in and a triangle out. And you'll do the same thing with the other one. You're going to bring it, the large one's going to be folding inward, and the smaller one will be folding outward. And you want to make sure that your point is creased. Okay, and so that's what gives you that kind of arrow looking fold. And even though we were working on the bottom of the card, it is actually the front of your card. Okay, so you can fold it back over and give it a good burnish here. And then you're going to want to do some gluing. Okay, and so we're going to want to glue the large triangle flaps down. Okay, so just kind of open that up and get your glue, and you're going to want to just put glue right in here. And I like to use the liquid glue because it'll give me a little bit of time to get it on there. And you're working on the inside of your card now. And so then you're going to fold those to the inside again, and you're going to glue those down. Okay, and then these little wings are going to go back out. But what you want to be careful is not to put glue all over this, because then you'll have glue here. So what I like to do is just put a little bit of glue on the baby flap, but keep it kind of to the center, right where that score line is. Just put a little bit. You don't want to go too far, because like I said, when you fold it back, you don't want a whole bunch of glue all over this piece. Okay, so again, let me show you that. Just put a little bit of glue along that center line, and then fold it back. You can put a little bit more glue to make sure you get it down, because you do want it to be secure, but it will stick. And if you're using adhesive, you can always, you know, do a burnish here so you see where the end of your card is. That might help. Okay, so that's the fun part of that arrow fold. And I am going to have to let it just dry a little bit longer. Okay, so then for your cutting of your designer series paper, you're going to want to bring in that 4 by 5 1/4 and your cutter. Okay, and so what you're going to want to do is the same thing. Is you're going to want to find the center mark of here, and I wrote it on the back here, and I actually did it on the back of this because it was easier to see. And the center of this is 2 5/8, because this measures 5 1/4 by 4. So what you're going to want to do is, now you want your cutter blade, and you're going to want to put that in so that that triangle or the corner is in the groove, and then you want to finagle it so that this tick mark is in the groove, and that's where you're going to cut. So make sure both are lined up before you cut. So fiddle with it a little bit, and then it's easier for me if I just start in the middle so I don't rip my corners. That's just a personal preference. You can do however you want, but it's just sometimes hard to get the blade over those corners. So then you're going to do the same thing. Mark up that corner with this corner, and then again, I like to start in the center, and then you have 3 triangles. So now you have 3 triangles, and that is what you're going to put on your card. So this is going to go, obviously the big one's going to go here, and it depends on what color you have on your other side, if you want to flip it over or if you want to just keep it all the same. Okay, and so then for your inside of your card, it's just going to be a 4 by 5 1/4, and then you're going to adhere whichever one you want. So if you want this to all be the same and have those cards coming out and it's kind of all the same, then you'll put this down. If you want to have it coordinating like I did on the previous example, then you'll want to go with this. This is very much a solid piece, so I think I'm going to go all flowered on this one, but on this other sample, I did flip it over. Okay, so let's just go ahead and glue that down. Line that up right on that center triangle. So you're going to get a nice little border all the way around. Okay, and then for the other triangles, and I'm going to do the flowers. So I'm just going to glue them in the corners. And then you're just going to stick that again down at the corner and to the top. And then that is what's going to give you your inside. And so then just put a little glue on your whole white piece. And then that's going to go on the inside of your card. Okay. And then for our add the little circle, I did the, again, the Spotlight on Nature circle. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive there, and I stamped, this is the hello from Simply Said, and I stamped that in there. And then I'm just going to put a little glue. Now you can use Stampin' Dimensionals if you want, but I feel like this has enough going on that it doesn't need to be popped up anymore. Okay, so there you have it. That is how simple and quick that fun fold comes together. And again, that's the Arrow Fun Fold card. And this is the Simply Said. And I did some early espresso and some boho blossom, but you can use any designer series paper and you can coordinate your cardstock with whatever you choose. So thanks for watching. Be sure to join me next week for another weekly Wednesday video. And until then, be blessed.